Hey everyone, welcome back to Todd Bosley's world famous YouTube channel and our complicated life of Coyote Kyle. Told by myself, Kyle, the coyote. So, yesterday I was talking to you about humanity and the things people do and how they act and things like that, and I was kind of getting to a little story that it was going to be a long story, so I didn't really want to squeeze it into the little bit of time we had yesterday. So I'm just going to continue on where I left off yesterday with that about my former job. I used to work at a really big chain office supply store, and I didn't want to really name it because I already told you guys where I live, and I don't want to throw anybody under a bus or make anybody feel bad, or if the person who happened to do this is listening, I don't want to be, tearing anyone down or anything. And I don't know the full story, I just know my part of the story. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So, I worked at this office supply store for maybe 6 years, maybe a little bit more than 6 years, about 6 years. As soon as I got out of high school, I started working here because I graduated from a tech school for business and IT. So, it just kind of made sense to work at an office supply store that fixes computers, because then I get the business angle and I get the tech angle both in one. And it was a really nice job. I love the people I work with. My managers were really cool and everything kind of worked out really well. I learned and picked up everything pretty good because I was already a tech guy. And it turns out they don't have a whole lot of tech guys out in the world, especially in those businesses where they should be tech guys selling you and fixing your computers. A lot of times they don't hire tech guys. They hire somebody who has little to no experience, and then they mold them and they teach them everything they know. So they really didn't want you doing tech work. The techs they hired weren't actual techs. They were just people who knew a little bit more about technology, who were able to tell you, or people that I trained to know enough about technology to talk to you about it. So me knowing tech was a huge advantage for myself. I had two other people I worked with. Actually, when I first started there was like a whole team of like 4 guys who were all really good at technology. They fixed computers and they taught me a lot. I mean, they changed my life, how much they taught me. I can't say enough thank yous to them. So if any of them are watching, thank you guys. You guys taught me a lot. But a lot of people they hired weren't techs, and you have these people who have no idea about technology. They just want to buy a computer for their grandchild or maybe for themselves to pay bills or whatever they need to do. And so they come into the local office supply stores, or you go to Walmart or whatever. They go to their stores and they expect to have help. Obviously, you go to Walmart, you really don't expect to have an associate help you or talk to you. I've kind of learned that one. I talked about it a little bit in my video yesterday, but as far as the office supply stores like that go, they really want to have people who engage their customers. That they really care about their customers a little bit more than like the big box store like that. So they do have some people who train to help your customers. They actually, we're trained to always talk to every customer walk in, even if they looked like they had a handle, they knew what they were doing. We had to go over and talk to them and ask them if they needed help. Awesome customer service skill that over doing that for 6 years, I've kind of perfected and I'm really good at dealing with customers because of that. And when I first started at that store, I had no social graces at all, I guess. I wasn't very good at talking to strangers. I felt so awkward in my interviews and stuff like that. I just wasn't a social person. But they did teach me a lot and train me and broke me of that, and I have to say thank you to them. But again, I'm kind of veering off from my whole point of telling you this story. So I got hired in there as a tech guy to work on computers and stuff, and also to sell them. And eventually I got put on a fast track to be management. I wasn't management, I had keys, but I had all the training management would have. I knew everything they did, most of the things they did. I'd set the store planograms, all that kind of stuff. So really, when it came down to it, at the end of the day, I was pretty much a manager or assistant manager. I was even put in the assistant manager program, which is a program they use to train associates to then grow into the other positions. And I was in that program for like 2 years, which was completely unheard of. People had been hired in front of me as assistant manager, or as managers or assistant managers. People got hired in who had no association with the company at all. they got hired in and put in here right in front of me. And watching that happen for 2 years, you kind of start getting disgusted. Like I'm training and I pretty much know what I'm doing, and I had for almost a year and a half. It didn't take. I was already doing the job when I got put in the program, so it wasn't too much of a difference. But they just didn't. The district managers, the people who were in charge at the time, they obviously everybody has their own agendas, and these people, the district managers, constantly got switched up. We always just about every year we'd have a new one or something. I don't know if it was every year, but pretty frequently we have a new one. And this one, when I was in the program, was hiring his buddies and associates from other businesses he had worked at in front of me when I was clearly the best suited for the position, and I was already there. So it just didn't make sense to me. And I know a lot of corporations are like this. It's not just that corporation. They're all like that. When you put a guy in charge of a whole district, they're going to come in with their own mind. I know a perfect guy for this position, and even though there's already a guy in that building who's perfect for that, they're going to think their idea is better because they're the one in charge. They're the ones taking over, and they're the ones who are reflected. So if they get a choice, and if they're going to get blamed for whoever they choose to take over that position, they're going to want to choose their buddy or whatever, because that's who they know, that's who they can trust. But moving on from that point, just a little bit about corporations and how they act like that. A lot of times you think they have protocols and things in place for every little thing that could happen, but what happened to me this day, they couldn't have had a protocol for. And really, there shouldn't have been a protocol for. You can't plan for this. So the biggest thing I had at this store, it was a nightmare. We were walking around the back of the store. I think it was just me and another associate, and we noticed this horrible smell. And it was coming from the bathrooms. Obviously, a bathroom is not going to smell the best, but this company or this store's bathrooms were always really clean. It was actually really, really pleasant to go to this store's bathroom. Usually the heat was on, and it was comfortable. And we weren't slobs working there. Everybody was pretty clean, so we didn't have a problem with it. And most of the customers weren't awful about it either. But this one day I had a customer, and I can't put a face to the name. I have my ideas about who caused it or who did it. I don't know their name. I don't know anything about them. I just saw them from across the store and assume I know who did it. But there was this customer at the store who apparently, I don't know how they did it, why they did it, or the reasoning or anything else about that. I just know the end point. So they had to have reached into the toilet after using it, or maybe they didn't. Maybe it was already somewhere else. But they used poop, human fecal matter. They had to have picked it up in their hand. There's no other way to do this, and smeared it all over the walls, the toilet seat, the little thing that holds your toilet seat protectors. You pull out, you put on the toilet seat so you don't have to touch somebody else's nasty germs. They smeared it into the lettering, raised letters. So I had to sit there and scrape this human fecal matter out of these words in this holder, as well as all over the stall doors. They practically wrote their name, but worse. Like, they just smeared it like they're painting with their hands or something on the walls, the tiled walls, the stall door, the bathroom, or the door to the outside of the bathroom. If you were standing outside the bathroom, you could smell it, and you just did not want to go in this room. We opened the door, and literally as soon as I opened the door, it hit me like a truck, and the smell was horrible, and I could see it everywhere. You don't even need to walk in, but as soon as you walk in, it just gets worse the farther you walked into the bathroom. And to give you a little, paint you a picture, this bathroom has one stall. It was the male's bathroom, so I had one stall for the toilet, and then I had your urinal and the sink. Not a very big bathroom, but big enough. So this person smeared poop all over the walls and all over everything that they could. And then they had to have left the store. They had to leave the bathroom, and I hope they washed their hands, because I didn't see them up close, but the person I thought it was, I just kind of assumed because they were in a group, they were kind of chuckling. Now, I don't know what this person was doing or why they did this. I don't know if they have if they had some kind of grudge against this company or any of the employees there, or if they were just trying to be funny, or I don't know. It makes me think there has to be something broken in that person's head for them to have done that. I mean, I have a hard time like just cleaning up a bathroom of my own at home, let alone going to a business and doing something like that, and then thinking that somebody's gonna have to clean it up. That I would never be able to do that. I couldn't live with myself after that. It was just that was just crazy. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, no, I'm not cleaning this. No, I'm not. No. Wasn't actually a manager. I was still in the manager training program, and there was another associate of mine who we're still friends to this day, and she actually is also a key holder with manager status and stuff like that, just like me, more on my level, but wasn't a full blown manager. Well, between the two of us, I forget who started, but we were the first two to catch it, notice it, tape off the door so nobody else tried to use the bathroom. And then we had to make phone calls. We had to call all our manager, our district manager, higher ups, everybody we could think of. We called and just to see what we were supposed to do. So we called one number. They told us to call this place. Told us to call this place. Eventually, we ended up giving up, and they basically told us that it was on us. We were hoping they would send in a team of people in suits to clean it up or something, a hazmat team or something, but no. The associates had to do it. So rather than make any of the part-time employees who would have just quit on us do it, us managers, the two of us that we had noticed, decided we would just do it ourselves. Which really, I can't own that. She started to clean it up, and I could not live with myself letting her clean it up all by herself. So I joined in, I helped her. It took us about an hour to scrape those walls. We left work late that day, and we left work feeling tainted, like we wouldn't be the same ever again. I still have photos from that occurrence on my phone, and I thought about popping them up on the video for you guys to see, but it's disgusting. I'm not going to make you guys do that. But it was crazy, the fact that somebody would do that in a retail store. And it wasn't even like a big box store with millions of employees. We could fit the entire employee list on one page for the schedule. It was not a very big business, and we didn't have janitors or nightly cleaners that come out every night. It was us. So that was a little bit of a horror story, and I can't believe that anybody would have ever done that. One thing I kind of liked about working here, or like working here more than I like working at that former big chain. So other than the fact that promotions and stuff like that, and cleaning up a bathroom, I still, which back to that actually, even in our store here, we have problems with our bathroom as far as people coming in and trashing it. I mean, people just clog the toilets with paper towel. People are just awful people. I have no idea why people would do that. And mind you, a lot of our customers wouldn't, but it's just a few of them that does, and it only takes the one. And of course, that one person doesn't ever tell anybody that they did it. So then it could take hours before we notice. The issue has gotten worse since then. A customer sometimes finds it, tells us, then that customer is upset because they wanted to use the bathroom, they can't use the bathroom, or they did and it wasn't a good condition. So this is kind of stuff retail you kind of see in a life, and it's not just big box stores, but in a big box store you think they have a better protocol or something in place for that, but that was awful. And that's why people in this world, that's why some places make you take a key to the bathroom. They don't let you in the bathroom unless you have a key. And that's what we thought about doing here. We just don't want to have to make our customers go through all that hassle. So just maybe, I don't expect any of my viewers to be the people to do that, but I just wanted to show you guys that happens. It's awful, and it's disgusting, and I have no idea why you would never do that to your bathroom or your family's bathroom or your friend's bathroom. So why would you do that to some stranger's bathroom, let alone a business's bathroom that somebody else has to use, and it could be your grandmother needing to use that bathroom next. So that's my bit on the bathrooms. And that's one of the biggest things about corporations compared to a small-owned business. I work for the guy who signs my paycheck. I work for the guy who tells the entire business what to do, and I don't have to worry about answering to any 6 people in between. We have managers, we have cashiers and other employees, but we don't have 7 people who are all called managers, district managers, region managers. Like, you don't have all those different zones to answer to. I meet everybody that tells each other what to do. I see them on a daily basis. So that's why, coming from a corporation to a small one business, I don't think I'd ever go back. Small family-owned businesses are where it's at. You get to talk and get in a better relationship and friendship, or business relationship, whatever, working relationship with your bosses and your coworkers. And as in a corporation, I'm not saying you can't make friends with your coworkers. Actually, they're what keeps you alive. If it wasn't for all my friends that I made at this former business, I probably, my friend group would be very small. But I made a lot of friends working there in that corporation because they had a lot of turnover. They had new people there all the time, so I was constantly meeting new people and making new friends. But since the turnover was pretty bad, they leave shortly after, and I was still there meeting them and making new friends. So in that fact, it was actually kind of neat. So I have a pretty good social network of some really awesome people, people I stay in touch with now, and I wouldn't mind going to business with nowadays. But it's just crazy that to think that all the stuff the corporations kind of see and you deal with in a corporation, and compared to a family-owned business, it's two different worlds. And really, you just got to pick which one you want to live in. Some people would prefer the corporation world, where you kind of it's more of a formatted downsides. As a family-owned business, you can never really guess what the downsides are going to be. They're going to hit you as they come, kind of take your punches as they flow. But it's always something new. It's always something different, and you work as a team to handle every little situation. I like that. It's more of a cap on things. My customers know at the end of the day who's dealing with everything, who's talking, and it's kind of more of a white glove treatment, really. As far as those corporations, you're run by a million different guys and different teams and stuff. It's crazy. So I think that's about all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I talked your ear off enough to entertain you guys and make you guys want to come back tomorrow for a little bit more. I'm going to try to get my next 2 videos in at home in my little office up there, so we'll see what we can make out of that. Hopefully they're pretty good. Or maybe I'll go on an adventure and get you guys a little bit of a Coyote Kyle outside of this business. But stay tuned. Make sure you guys watch the other coin pusher and claw machine videos we have going on. Those are contests you can get involved with. And we also have a contest. We're still working on it, and we don't know when it's going to be launched, but we're probably going to have a contest in these talking segments as well. It's not going to run regularly. It's not going to be all the time like the other videos, but we'll sneak them in and make it worth your time to come and watch these videos. And like I said before, drop in the comments anything you guys can. If you want to talk about something, if you have something on this topic you want to touch on, maybe you have a story I can share too about or related to what I just shared with you guys. Really, just spew some stuff down in the comments and I'll see what we can talk. I really didn't have too many comments to reflect on today, so I figured I'd just benchmark those till the next one. But we'll see what we want to talk about on the next video. I'm going to leave it up for a little surprise. I don't have anything really to gear us up for it. But I really wanted to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your support and everything you guys do. Make sure you guys are liking, you're commenting, you're subscribing, doing everything you guys usually do. And we'll check you right back here, same time, same place, tomorrow, the next day, and who knows, probably the rest of those days. So thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks, bye.